Add up. To make sense. His explanation didn't add up. Amount to. To total or result in. The expenses amounted to over $1,000. Ask for. To request. He asked for a raise during his performance review. Ask out. To invite someone on a date. He finally asked her out to dinner. Back up. To support. She backed up her argument with strong evidence. Bargain on. To expect or rely on. We didn't bargain on such a long wait time. Bend down. To lower the upper part of the body. She bent down to pick up the dropped keys. Bend over. To lean forward from the waist. He bent over to tie his shoelaces. Blank out. To forget suddenly. She blanked out during the exam and couldn't remember the answers. Blow away. To impress greatly. Her performance blew everyone away. Blow down. To be knocked to the ground by wind. The strong winds blew down several trees. Blow off. To dismiss or ignore. He blew off the meeting to go to the beach. Blow out. To extinguish a flame. She blew out the candles after making a wish. Blow over. To pass without creating a problem. The storm blew over without causing much damage. Blow up. To explode. The car blew up after the crash. Boot up. To start a computer. He booted up his laptop to check his emails. Border on. To be very close to being something. His rude comments bordered on being offensive. Break down. To stop working of machinery. The car broke down on the way to the meeting. Break in. To enter by force. Someone tried to break in last night. Break into. To enter by force, with object. They broke into the store and stole electronics. Break off. To end suddenly. She broke off the engagement last week. Break out. To start suddenly of a negative event. A fire broke out in the kitchen. Break up. To end a relationship. They decided to break up after 5 years together. Breeze through. To do something easily. She breezed through the exam with no difficulty. Bring up. To raise a topic for discussion. She brought up the idea of a team retreat during the meeting. Brush off. To dismiss. She brushed off his criticism. Brush up. To improve a skill. I need to brush up on my French. Call off. To cancel. They called off the meeting due to the weather. Call on. To visit. I'll call on you tomorrow. Call round. To visit someone nearby. I'll call round later to see how you're doing. Calm down. To relax. He calmed down after taking a deep breath. Care for. To look after. She cares for her elderly parents. Carry on. To continue. He carried on despite the difficulties. Carry out. To perform a task. They carried out the experiment successfully. Cash in. To exchange for money. He cashed in his stocks. Catch up. To reach the same level. She ran fast to catch up with him. Chase up. To remind someone to do something. I need to chase up the manager about my request. Check in. To register. We checked in at the hotel at 3 p.m. Check out. To leave a hotel. We need to check out by noon. Cheer up. To become happier. A good joke can always cheer her up. Chop down. To fell a tree. They chopped down the old oak tree. Chop off. To remove by cutting. He chopped off a branch from the tree. Chop up. To cut into pieces. She chopped up the vegetables for the soup. Clean up. To tidy. We need to clean up the house before guests arrive. Clear away. To remove. They cleared away the dishes after dinner. Clear off. To leave quickly. The teenagers cleared off when they saw the police. Clear out. To empty. She cleared out her closet. Clear up. To clarify. He cleared up the misunderstanding. Close down. To shut permanently. The shop closed down due to lack of business. Come across. To find by chance. I came across an old letter in the drawer. Come along. To accompany. Do you want to come along to the park? Come back. To return. She came back from vacation yesterday. Come in. To enter. Please come in and take a seat. Come off. To succeed. His plan didn't come off as expected. Come on. To make progress. Come on, we're almost there. Come out. To be published. Her new book comes out next month. Come to. To regain consciousness. He came to after fainting. Count on. To rely on. You can count on me for support. Crop up. To appear unexpectedly. Problems always crop up at the worst times. Cross off. To remove from a list. I crossed off the completed tasks. Cross out. To delete. She crossed out the incorrect word. Curl up. To sit or lie in a comfortable position. She curled up with a good book. Cut back. To reduce. We need to cut back on expenses. Cut down. To reduce. He's trying to cut down on smoking. Cut off. To interrupt. The phone call was cut off suddenly. Cut out. To remove. She cut out a coupon from the magazine. Cut up. To cut into small pieces. He cut up the meat for the stew. Deal with. To handle. She deals with customer complaints daily. Decide against. To choose not to. They decided against buying the house. Die away. To diminish gradually. The sound of the music died away. Die down. To become less intense. The storm finally died down. Die out. To become extinct. Dinosaurs died out millions of years ago. Dig up. To find by digging. They dug up an old treasure chest. Dish out. To distribute. She dished out the food to the guests. Do away with. To abolish. They want to do away with the old law. Do up. To fasten or decorate. She did up her coat before going outside. Do with. To need or want. I could do with a cup of coffee right now. Do without. To manage without. We had to do without electricity during the storm. Draft in. To bring in someone to help. They drafted an extra staff for the event. Drag on. To continue for too long. The meeting dragged on for hours. Draw up. To create a document. They drew up a contract for the new deal. Drink up. To finish a drink. Drink up your coffee and let's go. Drive away. To cause to leave. The noise drove away the birds. Drive back. To return by car. We drove back home after the concert. Drive off. To leave in a vehicle. He drove off without saying goodbye. Drop in. To visit unexpectedly. Feel free to drop in any time. Drop off. To fall asleep. He dropped off during the lecture. Drum into. To instill by repetition. She drummed the rules into the children. Eat out. To dine at a restaurant. We decided to eat out tonight. Eat up. To consume completely. Eat up your vegetables before dessert. End up. To reach a conclusion. They ended up moving to a new city. Face up to. To confront. He needs to face up to his responsibilities. Fall back on. To rely on. She had savings to fall back on. Fall behind. To lag. He fell behind in his studies. Fall down. To collapse. The old building fell down during the storm. Fall off. To decrease. Sales have fallen off this quarter. Fall out. To quarrel. They fell out over a trivial matter. Fall over. To topple. He tripped and fell over. Fall through. To fail to happen. Their plans to travel fell through. Feel for. To empathize with. I really feel for her after her loss. Feel up to. To feel capable of. I don't feel up to going out tonight. Figure out. To understand. I finally figured out how to solve the problem. Fill out. To complete a form. Please fill out this application. Fill up. To make full. He filled up the gas tank. Find out. To discover. I found out the answer to the question. Finish up. To complete. She finished up her work before leaving. Frown on. To disapprove of. The company frowns on lateness. Get going. To start moving. We need to get going if we want to be on time. Get across. To communicate. He got his point across clearly. Get along. To have a good relationship. They get along well with each other. Get around. To travel. She gets around the city by bike. Get at. To imply. What are you getting at with your comment? Get away. To escape. They managed to get away from the crowded city. Get back. To return. He got back from his trip last night. Get down. To depress. The bad news got her down. Get in. To enter. He got in the car and drove off. Get into. To become involved in. She got into yoga recently. Get off. To leave a vehicle. We got off the bus at the next stop. Get on. To board a vehicle. He got on the train just in time. Get out. To leave. He told us to get out of his room. Get over. To recover from. It took her a while to get over the flu. Get through. To complete. She got through all her exams successfully. Get up. To rise. I get up at 7 a.m. every day. Give back. To return something. She gave back the book she borrowed. Give in. To surrender. He finally gave in to their demands. Give up. To stop trying. She gave up smoking last year. Give way. To collapse or surrender. The old bridge gave way under the weight of the truck. Go ahead. To proceed. You can go ahead with the project. Go away. To leave. He told them to go away and stop bothering him. Go back. To return. She decided to go back to her hometown. Go back on. To break a promise. He went back on his word. Go down. To decrease. The temperature went down overnight. Go in. To enter. She went in without knocking. Go in for. To participate in. He decided to go in for the competition. Go into. To discuss in detail. Let's not go into that now. Go off. To explode or ring. The alarm went off at 6 a.m. Go on. To continue. Please go on with your story. Go out. To leave home for a social activity. They go out every Friday night. Go round. To be enough for everyone. There wasn't enough cake to go round. Go up. To increase. The prices have gone up recently. Go with. To match or suit. This shirt goes with your pants. Go without. To manage without. We had to go without electricity during the storm. Grow up. To mature. He grew up in a small town. Hand in. To submit. Please hand in your assignments by Friday. Hand over. To give control of. He handed over the keys to the new owner. Hang around. To stay in a place doing nothing. They like to hang around the mall. Hang on. To wait a short time. Hang on, I'll be with you in a moment. Have got. To possess. I've got a new car. Hit back. To retaliate. She hit back after being insulted. Hold on. To wait. Hold on a second, I'll get my coat. Hold out. To last. Our supplies will hold out for another week. Hold up. To delay. Sorry, I was held up in traffic. Hurry up. To move faster. Hurry up, we're going to be late. Keep down. To control or limit. Keep the noise down, please. Keep off. To stay away. Keep off the grass. Keep on. To continue. Keep on working hard. Keep out. To prevent from entering. Keep out of my room. Keep up with. to stay at the same level. He finds it hard to keep up with the class. Knock down, to demolish. They are going to knock down the old building. Knock out, to make unconscious. The boxer knocked out his opponent in the third round. Land up, to end up in a situation. He landed up in trouble after breaking the rules. Lead up to happen before. There were many events leading up to the final decision. Lean on, to rely on. You can always lean on me for support. Leave behind, to forget or abandon. She left behind her umbrella at the cafe. Leave out, to omit. Don't leave out any details. Let go, to release. Let go of the past and move on. Let in, to allow to enter. She let him in despite the late hour. Let off, to excuse from punishment. The judge let him off with a warning. Let up, to diminish. The rain hasn't let up all day. Lie down, to recline. I need to lie down for a while. Line up, to arrange in a line. The children lined up for lunch. Live on, to survive using. They had to live on a small budget. Lock up, to secure. Don't forget to lock up before you leave. Look after, to take care of. She looks after her younger siblings. Look back, to reflect on the past. Looking back, I realize how much I've grown. Look for, to search for. I am looking for my keys. Look out, to be careful. Look out for the traffic. Look out for, to take care of. She always looks out for her younger brother. Look up, to search for information. I need to look up this word in the dictionary. Make for, to move towards. They made for the nearest exit. Make out, to see or hear clearly. I can't make out what he's saying. Make up, to invent or reconcile. She made up an excuse for being late. Mess up, to make a mistake. I really messed up my presentation. Miss out on, to lose the chance for. She missed out on the promotion. Mix up, to confuse. I always mix up their names. Pack off, to send away. They packed off the kids to their grandparents. Pack up, to collect things and leave. We packed up and left the campsite. Part with, to give up possession. He couldn't part with his old car. Pass out, to faint. He passed out from the heat. Pass round, to distribute. She passed round the cookies. Pay back, to return money. I'll pay you back next week. Pay up, to pay in full. He finally paid up his debts. Phone back, to return a call. I'll phone you back after the meeting. Pick up, to collect. She picked up the kids from school. Play back, to replay. Let's play back the recording. Plug in, to connect to an electricity supply. He plugged in the charger. Pour down, to rain heavily. It started to pour down just as we left. Print out, to produce a paper copy. I need to print out my boarding pass. Pull off, to succeed. He pulled off a great performance. Pull out, to withdraw. The company pulled out of the deal. Pull over, To stop by the side of the road. The police told him to pull over. Pull up. To stop a vehicle. She pulled up in front of the house. Put back. To return to its place. Please put back the books after reading. Put down. To place on a surface or insult. He put down the book. Stop putting people down. Put in. To install or make an effort. They put in new windows. She put in a lot of effort. Put off. To postpone. They put off the meeting until next week. Put on. To dress or increase. He put on his coat. She put on weight. Put out. To extinguish or inconvenience. They put out the fire. Sorry to put you out. Put up. To raise or provide accommodation. They put up a tent. Can you put me up for the night? Put up with. To tolerate. She has to put up with a lot of noise. Read out. To read aloud. She read out the names on the list. Rely on. To depend on. You can rely on me for help. Ring up. To call by phone. I'll ring you up later. Round up. To gather people or animals. The cowboy rounded up the cattle. Rub out. To erase. He rubbed out the mistake. Run away. To escape. The prisoner tried to run away. Run into. To meet unexpectedly. I ran into an old friend at the mall. Run over. To hit with a vehicle. He accidentally ran over a squirrel. See off. To say goodbye. We went to the airport to see her off. See through. To understand the truth. I can see through his lies. See to. To take care of. I'll see to the arrangements. Sell off. To dispose of quickly. They had to sell off their assets. Sell out. To sell all of something. The concert tickets sold out quickly. Sell up. To sell a business or house. They decided to sell up and move abroad. Send for. To request the presence of. They sent for the doctor. Set off. To begin a journey. We set off early to avoid traffic. Set out. To start an activity or journey. They set out to explore the island. Settle down. To become calm or establish a routine. They moved to the countryside to settle down. Show off. To boast or display. He always shows off his new gadgets. Show up. To arrive or appear. She showed up late to the party. Shut down. To close completely. The factory was shut down last year. Shut in. To confine. He was shut in the room all day. Shut off. To stop a machine or supply. They shut off the water supply. Shut out. To exclude. She felt shut out from the group. Shut up. To stop talking. He told them to shut up during the movie. Sit down. To take a seat. Please sit down and relax. Sit up. To sit straight or stay awake. She sat up when she heard a noise. Slow down. To reduce speed. Slow down, you're driving too fast. Spark off. To cause something to start. The debate sparked off a heated discussion. Speak out. To express an opinion. She spoke out against injustice. Speak up. To talk louder. Could you speak up? I can't hear you. Spin out. To extend unnecessarily. He spun out the meeting to avoid making a decision. Stand for. To represent. What does NASA stand for? Stand out. To be noticeable. Her bright dress made her stand out. Stand up. To rise to a standing position. Please stand up when the judge enters. Stand up for. To defend. He stood up for his friend in the argument. Stand up to. To confront. She stood up to the bully. Start off. To begin. He started off his career in finance. Stay up. To remain awake. We stayed up late to watch the movie. Stick out. To protrude or be noticeable. His ears stick out a little. Switch off. To turn off. Please switch off the lights when you leave. Switch on. To turn on. She switched on the TV. Take away. To remove. They took away the old furniture. Take off. To leave the ground or become successful. The plane took off on time. Her career took off after the promotion. Take over. To assume control. He took over the company after his father retired. Take up. To start a new activity. She took up painting in her free time. Talk over. To discuss. They talked over the plan before making a decision. Think about. To consider. I'll think about your suggestion. Think of. To imagine or recall. I can't think of any reason not to go. Think up. To invent. He thought up a clever solution. Throw away. To discard. She threw away the old magazines. Throw out. To dispose of or expel. They threw out the broken chair. He was thrown out of the club. Throw up. To vomit. The baby threw up after eating too fast. Topple over. To fall. The vase toppled over and broke. Trip over. To stumble. She tripped over the rug. Tuck in. To make snug or to start eating. She tucked in the children. Tuck in. Dinner is ready. Tuck up. To arrange bedding. She tucked up the blanket around the baby. Turn into. To become. The caterpillar turned into a butterfly. Turn round. To change direction. She turned round to see who called her. Turn back. To return. It started to rain, so we turned back. Turn down. To reject or lower the volume. He turned down the job offer. Can you turn down the music? Turn off. To deactivate. Please turn off your phone. Turn on. To activate. She turned on the computer. Turn over. To invert or change control. Turn over the page. They turned over the company to new management. Turn up. To arrive or increase the volume. She turned up late. Can you turn up the radio? Wake up. To stop sleeping. I wake up at 7 a.m. every day. Wash up. To clean dishes or oneself. He washed up after dinner. Watch out. To be careful. Watch out for the wet floor. Wear out. To become unusable due to use. These shoes have worn out completely. Wind up. To finish or end. We need to wind up the meeting by 5 p.m. Work out. To exercise or find a solution. She works out at the gym every morning. We worked out the problem together. Write down. To record in writing. Write down the address so you don't forget it.